My name is Ingrid Schultz, and I am a pastor at the First United Mennonite Church, and I've been there for 12 years, since March of 1999. First Mennonite was the church I started at as a little baby. I was baptized at Sherbrooke Mennonite Church. That was the church that I came to faith in and came to sense of call to want to go and do some work in mission. And for me, that meant going to Bolivia with the Mennonite Central Committee. I worked there for 7 years with MCC, worked at Mennonite MCC Canada for 4 years in the personnel department, and did my studies at AMBS in Elkhart. My last year was in Chicago through a program called the Seminary Consortium for Urban Pastoral Education, and my internship was at Comunidad de Fe, a Spanish-speaking Mennonite church of the General Conference there. And during that internship, the pastor, Gamaliel Falla, who's now a missionary in Colombia, announced that he was going to be leaving to do a church plant in Miami. And the church asked if I would stay on to be their pastor. And I said, no way. That just didn't make sense for this Anglo woman to be the pastor of a Hispanic congregation in Chicago. But we went to a conference with all the Hispanic Mennonite churches of the U.S. and Canada in Buffalo, New York. And there was a fiery Colombian preacher who'd come from Colombia who was talking about discipleship. And he said those two words, "No, Lord, don't go together. It's an oxymoron." So there I was at the front of that gathering when he made the altar call, saying to the Lord, okay, I'm just afraid. That's why I'm saying no. I love what I'm doing, and if you go before me, I'll say yes to the church. And so as I was there praying at the front and crying, a pastor came forward and said, as he was getting ready to pray for me, I see ropes falling down around you. And I knew that that was the fear and that God was ministering to me. And I said yes to the Lord, to this call, and I said yes to the congregation. But there's a little if. But if all the men in the congregation would say that they'd be open to the ministry of a woman and ready to work alongside as lay people in the church. And they said yes to that, and the women of the church as well, that they're ready to work alongside. And so I was there for 7 years and then came back here and began in March of 99 to be associate pastor of FUMC, First United Mennonite Church, and 3 years later Helmut left and then became the lead pastor there. So I've been there 12 years now, and they've been good years. A lot of things bring me joy there. The diversity of the ages, some diversity of culture. I love the pastoral care. I'm on the board of directors, the chair of this King Crest organization that works with newcomers and providing ESL classes and the best potluck in the world every 6 weeks. And we're partnering with other churches in the area with Place of Refuge, which is a recovery house just down the street. I live a block away from the church, which is great, and I love the South Hill neighborhood with all the diversity of peoples that live in that neighborhood. And grateful to be a part of a larger group, Mennonite Church BC, and we're partnering with Sherbrooke on a number of fronts in that South Hill neighborhood, but also with Mennonite Brethren churches, South Hill and Culloden and Killarney on the Place of Refuge, and South Hill and Sherbrooke and Ebenezer Baptist and First United Spanish Mennonite Church with the King Crest International neighbors. And so it's good. I enjoy working together as a team. I have a great colleague in Joe Heichman, who is a pastor of worship and discipleship, and I'm pastor of outreach and service and spiritual care. And so we're really dividing it between us. The church still wanted those titles of lead and associate, but it's really a partnership together with Jorge Oaxaca of First United Spanish Mennonite Church, and Belinda Rempel, who's our administrative assistant, and a lot of wonderful lay people in our congregation.